Hi guys, this is CC Carter, your Realtor for Life, with Keller Williams First Coast Realty in Jacksonville and Keller Williams Cityside in Atlanta. And I want to talk to you today about a couple of changes that HUD recently made. HUD, of course, stands for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so, first of all, the first change that was made was last week on January 21st. The moratorium on foreclosures was extended through March 31st. So those homeowners who have been having some struggles with their monthly mortgage payment, their relief has been extended through March 31st so that they don't have to worry about being foreclosed on by their lender. Now, one of the caveats there is that those deferred payments, that forbearance, if you will, with FHA loans, the way that that's handled is that the lender files a claim with HUD for the amount of the missed payments. And then HUD pays that amount to the lender so that the lender is made whole. That's part of what your monthly private mortgage insurance, which is part of your monthly payment if you put down less than 20%, that's what that goes toward. That goes toward making sure that your lender is made whole. So basically, the lender files a claim with HUD for the amount of those missed payments. HUD pays that to the lender so that the lender is now made whole. But HUD doesn't just forgive that debt. HUD will then file a second lien on the house. So you may, if you took advantage of this forbearance program, you may have two liens on your house instead of just one. So that's something to think about if you're considering selling your home. Another thing that HUD recently did, and this just happened, is they expanded the eligibility for FHA loans to DACA recipients. Now, of course, DACA, for those of you who aren't familiar with that program, that stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Well, once they have DACA status, they're eligible to work in the United States. They're eligible they have a Social Security card. Now they are eligible to apply for FHA loans and put 3.5% down to purchase a home instead of having to put 20% down or some really unreasonable amount. And so all that's needed for those DACA recipients to qualify is the property has to be your primary residence, and you have to have a valid Social Security number unless you're employed by the World Bank or a foreign embassy or some other employer identified by HUD as an equivalent employer. You also have to be eligible to work in the United States. And obviously, you have to satisfy the same requirements, terms, and conditions that a U.S. citizen would have to meet. So as long as you meet those requirements, if you are a DACA recipient, you are now eligible for an FHA loan. So that's awesome. So those are two really great changes that were recently made in the past week that HUD has recently made. So those are good. Another thing that I'll bring up here, even though it's not exactly related, it does have to do with how debt to income is assessed if you have student loans, because that's kind of important. So even if your student loan is in forbearance, and a lot of people right now, you don't have to pay on your student loan because there's been forbearance due to COVID-19. But if your loan is in forbearance and you're trying to purchase a home, lenders still are going to have to count some portion of that student loan in with your debt to income ratio. So they're going to typically count 1% of the total debt. So if you owe $100,000 in student loans, lenders are going to count 1% of that, $1,000 per month, in your debt to income ratio. So that's going to affect how much house you can actually buy. And so that's an important note. Look, any questions that you have about anything, reach out to me and ask. Let's start a conversation. I'm here if you need me. Again, CC Carter, Keller Williams. Make it a great day.